Good morning everyone, my name is Dodds. Welcome to part 2 of episode 91, Dodds Diaries. Today is Tuesday the 20th of July. Time is now coming up towards 9:10 and my second day here in London. This morning I'm going to go on the river cruise at about 11:15, and this afternoon I'm going to go for the first time in my life. I'm going to go on the London Eye at about 2:30. And stations wise, I'm planning to do Charing Cross, Cannon Street and London Bridge stations. Made a good start yesterday with Paddington and Waterloo, so hopefully that good momentum keeps going today. It looks like another red hot day out there. I just looked out the window, blue skies, it's going to be high 20s again. I've been sweating me and that during the night. Got my sun cream on and everything. Just going to pack a few things and then going to head out. Right, out I go. I'm going to go and grab my breakfast before I head towards Westminster, which I imagine is where I have to get on the cruise. This is Bayswater Road, which I'm just coming on to now, and it's a lovely, beautiful day today. And good morning from Westminster. It's coming up to 10:10 and it's getting really hot already. We're on the Thames. Now, lots of river cruises go along the Thames, but the one I'm getting is over there, just next to the London Eye. I'll be going on that first and then I'll go on the Eye this afternoon. I'm really looking forward to going on the cruise. We'll have a little steady walk, we'll cross Westminster Bridge and then along the South Bank, just to over there. Having done the river cruise in Paris, I'm looking forward to this one in my own country. Day by day, we're still doing the restoration work of Big Ben, which will all be completed by next year. And here are two Boris Master buses. The 12 and the 159. This is the Metropolitan Police horses. They'll be busy today if anything goes on Parliament Square today. That's heading towards Lambeth Bridge down that way. And there's St Thomas's Hospital, which was featured in 28 Days Later. And we're going to head across this way. It's a lovely walk, this. I had a lovely time walking across here last night.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Just walk the end here and then down the steps. The views here are absolutely stunning indeed. I'll get even better views when I go up on that later on.
The event of an emergency, the captain will give you full instructions. For your own safety, and in particular for any young children on board, please remain seated as much as possible.
Best way to
So
say
welcome
London.
aboard your one-way trip to Southend-on-Sea, ladies and gentlemen. Our boat will be arriving at Southend Pier in approximately 2.5 hours' time. We will drop you off at Southend. Now, this boat will not be coming back to London today, so if you require return tickets, you can purchase them from the pier ticket office at Southend. The next cruise back this evening is at 8 o'clock tonight, which will get you back into London for 10 p.m. I'm only joking.
Of course, yeah, we're not done all the way at Southend.
London Eye River Cruise. Just making sure that and really, that's about it. Now, unfortunately, the tide is quite high at the moment, so we've not been able to go underneath Westminster Bridge. However, we will be going underneath it on the return. So instead, let's start off the tour by talking about the London Eye itself. 135 metres tall, that's the equivalent of 32 double-decker buses stacked one on top of the other. Designed by Julia Barfield and David Marks, a husband and wife architect team, opened up in the year 2000 as the Millennium Wheel, then went on to be the British Airways London Eye, EDF Energy London Eye, Coca-Cola London Eye, and it is now, of course, the lastminute.com London Eye, which is why we're all wearing pink and there's lots of flamingos everywhere. I do a very good impression of a flamingo, I really do. My managers have told me to stop it. I've had to put my foot down. We'll talk more about the eye in the return, but up in front of us we've got the Hungerford Railway Bridge, the Golden Jubilee footbridges either side. They're designed to look similar in architectural style to the London Eye, and they were delayed in their opening back in 2002 due to an unexploded World War II bomb that was found lying underneath the river. The bridges run into Charing Cross Station over on the left. Now take a look at Charing Cross Station for me. It's meant to represent something. Any ideas what? People often say to me, Liam, it looks like a toaster, or a jukebox, or the Batman symbol. One lovely man once said, it looks like my wife giving lovely, right? What if a toaster is meant to look like a steam train coming out of a tunnel with smoke billowing from its funnel? Can you see that? Nope, neither can I. If anyone likes the film Bridget Jones' Diary, a lot of the office scenes of Renée Zellweger were filmed there, and Hugh Grant. Also, the area of Charing Cross is named after one of a number of crosses that miraculously survived the Blitz.
This is
One
lovely,
did
this.
fall for the roof of St Paul's.
There's the
Luckily
City of
did not
London area,
detonate. It just made St
which I will
Paul's
look at this
even
way.
holier. Now we've just got by the reconstruction of Shakespeare's Globe Theatre on the right. The original Globe stood just up in front of us, and it burnt down in 1613 when during the performance of Henry VIII, an actor fired a live cannon on stage. Yes, in a building made of wood and with a bad stroke, what could go wrong? I think it's safe to say that actor was very quickly, as his career ended with a bang. Yeah, at least he brought the house down. Second Globe Theatre was built but then ripped down by the Puritans, and I will tell you more about that modern Globe Theatre. This area on the right-hand side, though, the area of Southwark, now if we were to go back in time to the days of William Shakespeare, it was a den of debauchery and sin. This is where you came for a naughty night out in London.
Cannon Street Station.
You had your bear baiting, your bull fighting, your cock fighting, your snaring with the thumbscrew, the rags, the
Tower of London. And here
People
is
often
Tower
ask
Bridge.
me, Liam, what was the worst form of torture you found? Because that was our favourite colour. Boleyn and Catherine Howard.
So that's City Hall, that's where the Mayor Sadiq Khan worked.
As you leave the boat today,
And there's the Charlotte over there.
I will give you a prize.
This is HMS Belfast.
The prize is called a high five. Here's a clue, not Mary Queen of Scots, everyone thinks on the steeple of St Bride's. And shall I reveal the mystery of the Red Columns? Well, the story I'm going to tell you is that it was the old steam railway line, the London to Chatham and Dover railway line running across the River Thames. When we swapped from steam trains to diesel trains, they got rid of the freight. They were not as supported the weight of the new diesel engines. So the columns of the old bridge were so quickly embedded in the mud that to get rid of them they would have had to use dynamite, which would have damaged the bridges either side. So instead somebody came up with the clever idea of painting those columns bright red and hoping nobody would stay where they are. Not a true story though, I'll tell you the true story for all my Harry Potter fans. It's an invisible bridge, which the Hogwarts Express runs across the platform 9 3/4. So if you saw the Hogwarts Express today, well done. You are a wizard. Or you need help. One of the two. I wish I could tell you something fun was going on the right, like we discovered gold, but they're actually putting in a super sewer. Our current Victorian sewage system is too clogged up with fatbergs and rubbish and, well, you know, poo. If you're interested in Joseph Bazalgette's Victorian sewage system, you can Google a bit and there's a big stink of it if you want to know. Basically, the river starts now so bad at one point, Parliament refused to work. Any excuse. Now, you can also see green lion heads decorating the sides of embankment on the right-hand side. These were a docking system for the Victorian barges and boats, but they also served as a warning to the people of London to let us know if the river was getting too high, and if we were in danger of the water overflowing into the streets. Now there is a poem, a rhyme, which warns us about this, and this is how it goes. If the lion heads are drinking, then London is sinking. And if the lion heads get ducked, London is truly flooded. Not the best rhyme, is it? Area Temple on the right hand side, actually, it's one from Knights Templar. They're past the lawyers and barristers guillotines in courts of justice down there today. But you can still see a Knight Templar staying out the red telephone box as. There's also an archway coming up on the right hand side with no man's face in it. Underneath them is the words King's Reach, and there's two silver dragons on the road. Why is the bell called Big Ben? Well, it comes from Sir Benjamin Hall, who was commissioner of the works when the tower was being built. Now, he was not very popular with his work because he caused a lot of problems. He was moody, he was grumpy, he was rude, and he was fat. He enjoyed his cake and pie and chocolate. And when the bell arrived, his workmates took one to the bell, they took one to Sir Benjamin, and they said, "Oh, Ben, that bell is just as big as you." Hence the name Big Ben was born from Sir Benjamin. Now, all I can say about that, thank God his name wasn't Richard. Have a think about that one. They do say the cleaners at Big Ben always look perpetually tired. Why? They're working round the clock. Now, believe it or not, guys, the River Thames is in fact one of the cleanest inner city rivers you will find. They've done a lot of work to clean up the River Thames since it was declared biologically dead. We now know that there is 126 different species of fish in this river, including, get this, seahorses. Yep, there's seahorses in the River Thames, otters. I've seen seals all the way up and down the river, quite specifically in this area, quite a lot. So keep your eye.
That was a fantastic cruise. That's two major cruises I've done. So I've done this one, and of course I did Paris in 2019 and 2017 and 2006. In the meantime, I'm going to have another walk along the south bank, and I'm going to go over to Charing Cross, which will be over that way. That'll be my first spotting session of the day. Hopefully I can get on that, and then back here 2:30 to go on the magnificent London Eye. It is really, really busy around here today. And it's red hot. It's like 28 degrees Celsius out here, but the real feel is around 32 degrees Celsius. When you're out on days like this, keep hydrated. It's the best thing to do. So I walked across one of the Golden Jubilee bridges, which is alongside what the railway line runs on, the Hungerford Bridge. And it is beautiful on the Thames. I've not had a week's holiday down there since 2010. But nowadays, holidays are a lot different now for me. Right, 12:15, now at Charing Cross. This time, success. I do have... hang on, I've got it in here. So this time, I do have a pocket. Yes, I do, I've got it here. So I've got my visitor's badge this time. What you do is you sign in at reception between platforms 5 and 6. So we're in South Eastern Territory. Trains here go to South London, South East London and at the South East of England, so areas like Kent and all that, Dover for example. Probably about half an hour here and then I'll move on. This time, no problems. that was brilliant. That's Charing Cross done and dusted. Again, they were good stuff. So far, each station I've had to show me ID. I've got my driving licence for that, and then they found us on the database. I'm now standing at Trafalgar Square. It's still red hot day. Everyone's dipping their feet in the water. Obviously, there are guys walking around making sure that people don't go swimming in the water. But why would you want to anyway? You could always go to the south coast, which is what I'm going to be doing this week. We'll have a little walk around here, and then I'm going to walk, because I'm on the London Eye at 2:30. I'll take a slow walk back across the Thames. I've been enjoying a lot of that. Been doing more so far, done more walking than tube rides since I got here yesterday. With this weather, it is worth it. It gets you exercise as well. The sun's gone behind the clouds. Very important that you walk when you're walking around in the hot weather like this. Take plenty of water with you, keep yourself hydrated. That's what I'm doing. Right, onwards I go. Walking down Northumberland Avenue, which just happens to be one of the streets on the original London Monopoly board. It is just off the Strand. Looks like we could be passing a few embassies here. Got the flag of South Korea just up here, so that could be the South Korean embassy, maybe. Pretty much a lot of embassies in the world are based here. So back across the Thames I go. If you thought it was hot here, at the time of filming this, right across Europe it's even hotter. It's about high 20s here. The real feel is actually around 31, whereas part of Spain, Madrid, is nearly 40 degrees Celsius at the time of filming this. Perfect weather to go on the beaches, especially like Salou and Benidorm. But abroad for me this year was not to be. I'm still happy to be here. And so, for the first time ever, I am on the London Eye, and up and away I go. This will be an amazing ride. So, as we go up and up, we'll get to see much more of the capital. So as we're now coming up to the peak, I'll show you what we've got. This is looking across like the south end of London. That is Waterloo station down there. It's a bit of the east end over there. You see that's Canary Wharf in the distance, and there's the Shard. All sorts of places across the south of London. So it's like the borough of like Southwark and Lambeth and all that around here. See right the way out in the distance. The views are absolutely amazing from up here. I've waited a long time to do this. And of course we'll see more heading like north. All that is the City of London up there. It's got like the walkie-talkie, and the Gherkin is somewhere over there. St Paul's Cathedral. There's Charing Cross station down there. It's the BT Tower over there. That was once known as the Post Office Tower for some time. Try to figure out anything else I can spot from this end. Anything I recognise. This does remind me of France. Reminds me of Paris. At least this time, this is my own country. And so at this end, that's Millbank Tower down there. So somewhere around there will be Victoria Station. There's Houses of Parliament down there, the Elizabeth Tower, Big Ben down there, Parliament Square, all of Westminster around here.
The best part.
Of course, you can see there's Buckingham Palace, just down there.
There's incredible sights to see on every side, so look around and explore London's skyline. But please keep the same distance between you and other guests. If required, please ensure you're wearing a face covering at all times.
District lines. Exit for riverboat services from Embankment Pier. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Train to Barking. The next station is Cannon Street.
Right, another success. So here I am at Cannon Street Station now. At this station, you don't sign in. Station reception is on platform 1, and lovely, lovely staff indeed they were. So I think I'll do about 30-40 minutes here, and then I'm going to move over across the Thames to London Bridge Station. There's a class 376 coming in, just southeastern what's served here, and then you've got a 465 there, and another 465 to the left. Just like Charing Cross, services from here come from the southeast of England. And 376s are pretty similar to the 375s and 377s. I've been on top of the Thames. You get good views from here. That is the Shard up there. You see across to Tower Bridge over there. Canary Wharf is in the distance. 7 platforms at this station.
Customers joining the service on platform 2, the 1557 Southeastern service to Hayes via Catford Bridge. Please be advised that this service will be diverted and terminated at Beckenham Junction. This is due to a failed train at Elmer's End, which is currently blocking the line towards Hayes. Any customers who require Clock House, Elmer's End, Eden Park, West Wickham and Hayes are advised that local bus services will be accepting valid railway tickets for your onwards travel towards these stations. Please accept our apologies for the disruption caused on services towards Hayes. This is due to a failed train at Elmer's End.
Just round to the left, that takes you to London Bridge. And round to the right takes you to Waterloo East and Charing Cross. Well, looking at these clouds over here, that doesn't look like a good sign. It looks like we could be in for a sharp shower of rain, and if it does come down, it will be really heavy.
The next train to depart from platform 4 will be the 1624 Southeastern service to Slade Green, calling at London Bridge, Deptford, Greenwich, Maze Hill, Westcombe Park, Charlton, Woolwich Dockyard, Woolwich Arsenal, Plumstead, Abbey Wood, Belvedere, Erith and Slade Green. This Clock House, Dodds End, Eden Park, West Wickham and Hayes. This train has 10 coaches. 1627 Southeastern service to Hayes.
If you see something that doesn't look right, please speak to staff or text British Transport Police on 61016. We will sort it. See it, say it, sort it.
Right, we're going to sign out now and then over to London Bridge I go. Good session here. There was one train got took out of service, there was a fault on it, and there's been some problems down Elmer's End apparently. There's a blocked train down there. So I'll go to London Bridge next. Okay, we're on a class 376, the 1645 to Slade Green, then Dartford. Where do I go across the Thames to London Bridge? London Bridge station. Really busy it is. It's now 5 o'clock, rush hour. It's currently points failure around West Croydon area, so some trains will get cancelled. Trains come in here literally in and out all the time, and I'll get to see Thames Link's new Class 700 services. They go to Brighton. I'll do about 45 minutes here, and then I think I'll have a walk across Tower Bridge. So they're the new Class 700s, just like, they're built by Siemens, so just like the 185s and the 350s, 444s and the 450s.
Service to Cambridge. London to Brighton, City Jetsley, Farringdon,
These are Thames Link's new 700 trains, built to replace the old 319s and 377s on the Bedford to Brighton line. Right after the platform 10, this is the like the southern side of things, so 377s and I don't remember what the other ones were. This is an impressive station. This was rebuilt several years ago. We're right in the shadow of the Shard, and this cloud up there I still do not like the look of. I hope that doesn't come here. I think when I'm done here I'm going to walk across Tower Bridge.
Southern service to Beckenham Junction via Tulse Hill. Calling at South Bermondsey, Queen's Road, Peckham, Peckham Rye, East Dulwich, North Dulwich, Tulse Hill, West Norwood, Gypsy Hill, Crystal Palace, Birkbeck and Beckenham Junction. This train has 8 coaches. Platform 14 or 1731. Southern service to Beckenham Junction via Tulse Hill.
May I have your attention please? Customers awaiting the 1725 Southern service to Epsom. Please be advised this service is delayed by approximately 15 minutes. This is due to a fault with the signalling system between Norwood Junction and East Croydon. The inbound train to form this service is in the Peckham Rye area and is expected to arrive in approximately 10 minutes. Please be reminded if your journey has been delayed by 15 minutes or more, you can claim delay repay.
Right, done in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to have a walk across Tower Bridge and then catch a tube from across over there. Here we are up against the largest building in Western Europe. That is, of course, the Shard. That is absolutely impressive indeed. And you think this is tall, what must skyscrapers, what must buildings in New York City might be like? They'll be even taller. It's not the tallest building in the world. That belongs to I think somewhere in Dubai. I'd love to go on the top deck, top floor up there, an apartment, if you had a hell of a lot of money, of course. Just before I head to Tower Bridge, I'm actually standing on London Bridge now. I'm going to have a walk along the river probably get something to eat actually at a pub or something along there. So walking this way, this takes you over to the City of London area. All the big buildings up there. There's the walkie-talkie and the cheese grater is over there. And looking at these clouds, it does not look too promising because there is a little bit of rain, isn't it? Now in the rush hour, so everyone is coming out the city and heading home. And now we'll walk that way. Right, continuing on to Tower Bridge. I've just had a dinner, pie, a pint and a cheesecake. While I've been in there, it has been lashing down a bit as expected, and look what we have. Here's a nice rainbow just over the top of Tower Bridge. Up here, this is City Hall. This is where the Mayor Sadiq Khan worked. We're going to keep walking along this way. This is along the More London development. I love it round here. Oh, here, this is HMS Belfast, just over here, right in front of the City of London. Them big tall buildings. The plan for me is to walk across Tower Bridge and then join on the tube somewhere near the Tower of London, just over there. So now I'm about to walk across one of the most famous landmarks in London, Tower Bridge, which was opened in 1896. I think they started building it in the late 1880s. So I'll keep walking across here till I get to the Tower of London. Feels a lot different than walking across the Tyne Bridge, which I'm used to. But this is absolutely amazing. And now I'm across Tower Bridge. This is the Tower of London, which is where you would go if you wanted to get your head chopped off. Which there has been a number who have been beheaded in there over the hundreds of years. Now, tube-wise, I'm going to walk up to Tower Hill station up there, which is also where you get off for Fenchurch Street station, which I will do another day. I'm having such a lovely, relaxing evening, just like last night. London, it's... no, I wouldn't say rammed. Most of the people, tourists, there's hardly any, I wouldn't say there's hardly any international tourists around with the COVID pandemic, and that the majority of them are probably British tourists, or of course Irish as well. So it is busy, but it's not been rammed while I've been here. I've made it to Tower Hill tube station. This is where you get off the trains from Fenchurch Street and also Docklands Light Railway from Tower Gateway. Hopefully I will have time to go on the Docklands, because I would like to see Canary Wharf this week. I'm going to catch a circle or district line to get to Monument, and that station's down with Bank, and then I'll go from Bank straight back to Queensway on the Central Line. I'm going to finish it, and then that'll be my last tube ride of the night, because I've got to be up early tomorrow, and knowing the heat, I bet I don't sleep. Right, time to start making my way back to the lodge. I certainly wouldn't want to be going in the tower. It's the sort of place you go if you want to have your head cut off. Right, it's 5 to 9, just got off at Queensway. A bit early, not going to turn in yet, but I'm not going to stay out too long. So I'm going to have a nice walk along through Kensington Gardens. Just round the corner from Kensington Palace. So we'll have a walk round here for a bit. Somewhere around here is the Princess Diana Memorial Playground. Further the other way heads towards Hyde Park. I will look at that at some point this week, so I want to go and see the Serpentine and all that. I love it here. It's lovely on an evening. When I'm done here, I think I'll then go back to my hotel and just rest there for the night. Just near Palace, this is the Round Pond. This is lovely and peaceful. With all the swans, ducks, is there any ducks in the pond? This is a much bigger pond than the one in South Shields that I normally go to in the summer. Yeah. Hello, mate. Hello. How are you two today? Yeah, he's getting a little drinky of water. As we can see, these two swans are making their way along the water. I don't think I'll make a good David Attenborough, but anyway, I'm having a lovely evening. Right, just before I go, here is Kensington Palace, and over here is We Are So Not Amused statue of Queen Victoria. Now, it's time for us to go. Okay, back in my hotel room. It's now 10:10. I'm going to end it now because I've got to be up early tomorrow. I'm going to have to try and sleep through the heat. Second day in London has been fantastic. Went on the river cruise this morning. That's one of the best ways to see the capital. You can see all sorts of landmarks, you know, from the House of Parliament, the London Eye, down to like to Charing Cross to St Paul's. You can see like the Gherkin, the Shard, Tower Bridge, Blackfriars, lots of Globe Theatre as well, lots of iconic landmarks. It's been an absolute scorcher of a day. It's hot in here. I've got this fan I've got is going to stay on all night just to try and keep me cool. It's doing its best. It's filmed 3 stations today: Charing Cross, Cannon Street and London Bridge. All 3 stations, staff were brilliant, signed in no problem. At Charing Cross, you go to there's a station reception, platform 5, 6. Cannon Street, you go to platform 1 now, and London Bridge is station reception. So yeah, all the staff were brilliant. Getting a look at South Eastern trains, so I've been getting a lot of third rail territory done today. Good session at Cannon Street. There were trains getting delayed. There was a block train at Elmer's End. Then I went to London Bridge, did that around the rush hour time, 5 o'clock. It seems to be getting more busier and busier now that everyone's coming back out and going back to work. There were points failure, but somewhere West Croydon, I think, could be Norwood Junction, I think. There was a points failure somewhere around there that was causing some train cancellations. So I got to look at, as well as South East, I got to look at Thames Link's Class 700s built by Siemens, which operate down to Gatwick Airport in Brighton. If I have time, I could go somewhere like Brighton this week, which is it's an hour's ride from Victoria. So yeah, they operate them in placement of the 377s and of course the 319s they used to have. All the 319s have been cascaded elsewhere, like to Northern, for example, and I think not London. Were they London North Western Railway? I do not know. Also went on the London Eye, and you get lovely views from up the top. It's obviously not as high as what the Eiffel Tower in Paris is, which is just about under 2 hours ride on the Eurostar from here. Now, this holiday is in replacement of going abroad. Obviously I was hoping to get abroad this year, but it wasn't to be this year with all the COVID still going on. So for me, a week here is a lovely alternative. And I haven't really had a proper week here to like explore London properly. Obviously I came here 2010, I was only 18 years old, but I was mainly going to suburbs, spotting and that. But it's a lot different this time. This time I'm doing a lot more in Zone 1. What a red hot day it's been. It actually started lashing with rain at one point. There's been lashing in parts of the country today, at the day of filming this. Still being very hot as well. But I think we missed most of it. I had my dinner on the south bank of the Thames, and I walked along to City Hall, across Tower Bridge, past the Tower of London, come back here, went to walk around Kensington Gardens, a nice park indeed. I'll hopefully go to Hyde Park just further along from there. Now I'm in early tonight because I've got to be up early for tomorrow, part 3, and part tomorrow I will not actually be in London. I'm actually going to be out of the capital all day because I'm catching a train, I think around 7:15 or 7:30 from London Waterloo down to Bournemouth on the south coast. I've not been there for my holiday since 2005 when I went on holiday. I was only 13 at the time. Now I've got a chance to go and visit the lovely resort that I've not been for 16 years. So I'm going to be spending all day in Dorset. I'm going to be meeting up with a couple of mates who have been desperately wanting to meet me, and finally it's going to be their turn. So I'm basically going to be down there because I get there like 9:30, and I'm going to be leaving there at 9:15 at night, and I'll be back here about 25 to midnight. So I'm going to be out of the capital all day, and hopefully it will be another red hot day and it'll be worth it because I will be spending a day on the beach. Well, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next part. Stay cool. Good night.